Hello, welcome to the G-Peak Experience. You can shuffle the instrumental music at any time and enjoy this unique experience that may align self-actualizations from random relations as you find your peak experience sensations from synchronizations that aligned the cause of the cause and effect to induce, then produce, and introduce another. Use. When you find your groove, you'll link in sync, because the rhythm may prove that this dice roll link may be the cause to improve, enlightening how you think, from God's own words, all these that I crafted with ink. That's kinda my mind-eye's interpretation for some kinda revitalized meditation, as a type of higher harmonized medication, via the whole entire mental synchronized stimulation. Plus, as poetry is open for interpretation, it can also open minds to imagination, as this is forming as a new age formulation. It's the formal new form of informing information. Oh yeah. I'm like carving and forming, but huffing, not boring, by halving the snoring. I am I just carving, yay, and a forming. A good morning. So go with the simplicity of flow, with every surreal line, and the synchronicity is above so below will show life is real sublime. In other words, you just kick back, unwind, living with feel, chillax, expand your mind, keeping it real. Close your eyes, believe, we breathe, this free air of earth, sharing since birth, equals, everyone's worth. Oh my yeah, it's worth a try, to demonstrate this objective. And know why, you should see life in a new perspective. By using your imagination, you can create a peak experience sensation. To feel great. Just test this lyrical medicinal technology and utilize this miracle neuroimmunology. Then, shining your smile, that extra mile. Prime defining the divine style. As your inequality illuminates inequality. Going with the simplicity of love that can flow. Like a synchronicity glove, as above, so below. It's true that imagination can be new information. Then you can assume as minds work better when open. Yeah, and you must know that within you, that there is always room for you to forever zoom and think out of the box. For when you imagine there's no limits to time and space, then you have unlocked any mental blocks. Now, just daydream, at ease, into a deep meditative state. That's when you'll find what may seem like keys to unlock that sedative gate. And when you're free of any mental blocks, then you'll be able to open these incremental locks. In other words, you just breathe, kick back, unwind, and live with feel, chillax, expand your mind, but keep it real, close your eyes, and just breathe. Disclaimer. This could be a mind alteration across the whole nation, a new education, sensation, type of demonstration, when used for recreation, as imagination simulation is stimulation, don't use it in moderation. Go for gold. Use it beyond appropriate optimal operational limitation, young or old. Ultimately, create the ultimate space destination, education, type of situation. Okay, now let's begin. With an open mind like a parachute, you'll get knocked off your feet if you find the obsolete, and that's absolute. So with your open mind and infinity to truly try and understand infinity, then you may sense that divinity is within your vicinity, while redefining every possible possibility, such as your time and space, endgame, membrane, line of visibility. We see clues from within, all on display, like the numbers prime, or how sacred geometry patterns are nature's way to show how life can align. So yeah, let's prime define these quizzical times, far beyond fiscal or physical, absolute plane defines. As a mile-high smile pile aligns to this life trial, your prime star dial line will shine sublime with style. It's so surreal, also sublime, going that extra mile, yeah, for real, and so divine fine, like walking down the aisle. Yeah. Now, infinite time and space, this place has already begun. So know that nothing is impossible, as the philosophical rule number 1. Wherever anything is possible, it has all will already be done. See how something from nothing is possible, thus hence, never really none. With so many clues to the hidden, that can come from the given. It's fun loving them, and fun living in them, yaha, here comes the fun. Hey yeah, because it's funny, life's a game, played at the center of infinity, your brain. Sup?
Hey!
Infinity is divinity. It's so surreal, and also sublime, as it's essential for our existential real reality paradigm. And you, Sensiblest Center, that place where you enter, where these 3Ds combine align, make your body presenter, a soul sensor, in the all of space, and the whole of all time. It's a point of center, and you're the inventor of your own reality, state of mind, where each all and every perception point can find somewhere together as we refine, forever entwine. If you understand that the source of our existence materialization is from a source prior to the universe, of course, from some externalization, then you'll know how we're alive in this and civilization. Likewise with string M theory and its quantum particle quantization. No strings are needed to tie up a quanta and mind loop generalization. As above, so below, there are no limits to time and space, especially internalization. Then you'll see there was no Big Bang, beginning or end, just reorganization. After this, realization. But here, you know what? Nothing is something. So that defeats its own purpose complete. Thus, on its purpose, has a purpose to self-defeat, therefore making all of nothing an ineffective objective, because even if there was nothing, the reflective connective is the all of existence subjective, where any conception, within infinite time and space, has a unique perspective, for any perception case, that every perceptive kind can instantly find any another instance, like this existent state of free mind. Because even if there was nothing, not a thing to perceive time, even the odd, singularity, for any reality paradigm, then certainly, all of eternity is certain and instant. That's a certainty, as every self-assertion is inadvertently consistent. Like your existence, without the time resistance, also has this void abyss resistance. You see, as we avoid and mispersist, without any assistance, like now, your own fine perspective instance is another eternal bliss existence, that your forever continuum as a mind-blowing, homegrown, for showing. 'Cause yeah, knowing that death should not even frighten, so thus, for us, this, ad infinitum, continuum item, to enlighten what everyone has already inside them. As for when our soul petitions again, get hearted, to then become known then as the dearly departed. Still a singularity at heart, but then a duality, polarity of heart. Beginning the end of the ascent, new friend, as thou art. Like before you were born, there was no perception of time, so no fine line to wait. Then see how after death, everything is fine, as there is no downtime to re-manifest gestate, for all existence will eventuate and create everything that is great. But our remembrance is too late to celebrate the state of fate. So hey, let's party harder, pro-rata, and create a positive resonance that we, Generation 8,
Yay! It's easy to generate a positive resonance, sending out waves of your beautiful presence. Discard wrappings, it's thoughts that count. Remembrance, a gift reflection of you, oh yeah, your essence. Like when freestyling, prime smile shines, or refining your fine line lines. It's like the simplicity of love that can flow in synchronicity, as above, so below. What is the norm? The norm to conform? When we're all uniquely born. To be normal then, is quite abnormal. Like sheep all shone, dressed in the same uniform, uniformal. But, feel free to be you, as you're uniquely new. As the new dawn is, yawning. Or as it's just due. From the lawn, every morning. You must read like a sleuth to find the clues and just feed on the truth behind the news. That's, for me, a good morning.
When giving life, oh dear, Mother Nature Earth, then all living can enjoy every each other birth. Where this bliss equals everyone's worth. As we surf, breathe, and share sense, birth. and that makes us all part of this one. So see that we, everyone, have already won. Like father and son, our existence family is one, and life is for fun. Hey, hey mate, yeah?
Whoa, yeah!
Just breathe and wake up. Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Mate, have you seen our universe schematic? Oh yeah, it's very enigmatic. With everything dramatic to make you feel ecstatic. So be like a fanatic, because all these universal obstacles make for some epic pinnacle spectacles, used as polite, political, critical, clinical, analyticals.
So then, now is where I point to. For what is true, within you. As a way for time and space, to thus add, infinitum. If you have the time place, for your space added, continuum item. In the prime time multiple, of the 3Ds, these, x, y, and z's, we sees. It's because any one point, has divisibility, that then make 2 points subdefine, more fine, indefinitely, as inside the finite, exists a point of infinite detail, making indefinite, definitely, off the scale. In any case, between time and space, it's just a scaled ratio link. At any place, the calculations per second, define the detail we think. And, because time and size, scaled proportionally, do not be deceived, making our conception of time and space observance, when it is received, as perception, and smaller, is especially, generally relatively, more rapidly perceived, then, the reception measure rate of time, is also, more so, increasingly, achieved. So then because the perception of time, as our memory, jogs, requires both space and time, to turn our cognitive cogs. Thus time and space are directly proportional, bottleneck, bogs, making both relative, when cleaning up any perception data, backlogs. For example, if you shrink down, subatomic for a sec, see that the time on your watch, runs normal, if you check. And know that, not even a black hole, can bend these rules. As space and time, are merely your symbolic, measurement, tools.
And the maternity of infinity for eternity, creates any everything with time, making new real realities, where, whenever, it's your time to shine. Seen when existence planes collide, that cross over to create twains inside. As these dualities from polarities form an adaptation line, that twine combine to form piles of fine smiles. These are fine existence, signs of design. So as you shine your smile, that extra mile, radiating your inner quality, you then prime define the divine style, that illuminates inequality. And as it's because perfection, is only perfect when shared, it's agreed, that majority is, what majority does, as a divine deed, happily indeed. Then see how that puts me and you, at favorable odds. That right now we're all in queue, to one day, be gods.
You see, if there was any way greater, that God can relate ya, then it's already done, just wait, you'll relate, when I elaborate later. This life is for you to decide, as the truth is out there. Just think, how great then is God? So play a little thanks prayer, and you'll receive a wing.
As an eternity of perfecting perfection, forms our matrix of love. And how, that's how, That's how universal order fits like a glove. Your appreciation is a personal piece of, as above, so below. Because the simplicity of love is in a synchronicity flow, you know? It is known, it's still unshown, here at home, we are not alone. Just look up to know, you're never, ever, really ever alone. Imagining infinity with energy, time and space, then your smile shine will enlighten. Like a mile-wide rainbow, inner glow, as then even death cannot frighten. If you can relate, this perfect postulate, then you have divine intervention, attention. And when you center infinity, with these trinity whole unity, you sign for life extension intention. It's also surreal, as this invention, has also a, so sublime prevention. For your life, then will have a higher, paradise paradigm, where at this point of time, I must mention, is like being on detention, waiting for a, fifth dimension, ascension.
Hey, wake up.
Hey! Wake up, my friend. What came first, the chicken, or the cooked egg? Our friend. How many numbers are there to comprehend? In the corner, is the circle, around, the bend? And, is the beginning, the end, of, the end? Infinite time and space need not begin, nor even need a start. Everything may be already within, all just apart, maybe anywhere, has already everything somewhere within, wherever the ad infinitum, continuum item, is forever, continuing, clues to the hidden, come from the given, so easily you can, earn, like the elements, hydrogen and oxygen, the most powerful do, burn. And the byproduct is water, the best extinguisher, is bonded, in, turn. See the perfect design signs everywhere, if you're aware, then you can, learn. Bacteria and tardigrades, have all life's needs, making indestructible, symbiotic DNA seeds. On comets or meteors, they are free. Sent from somewhere, we must concede. Genetically linked via a single genetic genesis traits agreed. All lives here was fertilized with perfect timing, indeed.
But the hardest ever question, is to give God a clever suggestion. If you can think of anything, that's an improvement condition. For the universe, as if you designed it, from that position. Honestly, is there anything, that's a fair proposition? Because already perfected, perfection cannot be corrected. And this universe, is so perfect, as a matter of fact. Coincidental similarities, repeat actualities so exact. And as the universe runs, like elegant music at play, in harmonic tunes, relevant symphonics of sway. Just swim with the current, destiny of today. And your moral compass, will point the righteous way. Even sections that play, cosmic stream, provocative instruments. Attunes in accordion spectrums, playing chords, according to, octave increments. So attune your, natural selections, for an actual broader, higher order, probability, of more connections, of exceptions, and less rejections, of your proper ability. Which ultimately must mean, a cosmic soul connection, has a perceptive, perspective, and must be ever moving toward, the perfection direction, natural, objective. And a virtue, for the reality virtuality, must be the creative of natural selection. because it's the object of affection, to co-combine all the cognitive collection. As all of reality's observations make estimation innovations, using calculus-lated, 40 quadtaneous, instantaneous guesstimations to open a mind with more real-time, simultaneously shared observations. And these hectic, trigonometric, per second squared realizations create a sense conception of sensations from various perception inner variations. That means, in increased instances of less time resistances, times per every persistent multiple, double time adding assistances, has the result able principle to create more space from time added, gathered existences. But due to idiotic ideologies, the AIQ will be forming a Q that's inside and outside, Intel 2, then turning us to grey goo. Unless, at every chaotic asymptotic brink conjecture junction, has a designed robotic symbiotic sync lecture function to link DHR in conjunction. For when computing improves, just for the beauty of a fractal, which also further proves infinity is an actual. We see again in Zoom, when nature starts calling, how infinity has infinite room when the snow starts falling. For the processional, infinitesimal decimals that amazingly individually make each, all, and every unique snowflake.
So thus, ad infinitum and continuum, your space added continuum item. In stereo to behold, the axiom of infinity as a postulate mold that never gets old along the linear sequential, eternal unfold. So do not be frightened to divide and 10 point indefinitely. Then be enlightened on these 3Ds of axis we see, and that is infinity. 1 point has 2 points, at some size point of define, towards absolute zeros, quantum scales and details, are thus divine. With prime number heroes, that loop align, 3 dimensions of us, with time, forming for your vortex loop axis prime line for your 4th dimension perception of fine prime time to shine. Oh yeah, and this logical, phenomenological, supraliminal, intractable reality, is actually, like a fractal actuality, in the time and space duality, as your immortal reality just needs a gauge measure for normality, and so then, your mortality, is really then a virtue. Virtuality.
So just shine your prime smile design, and for when the end is near, feel the love divine, you have nothing to fear, as the universe loves us dear. Behold faith, in God's face, together we must embrace. United, we are, the human race.
If not, we're only just a disgrace. And as a fair case, we're not worthy of joining the society in space. Because the no notoriety, from all our idiotic ideologies, probably offend space society, who deserve a variety of apologies. As we are a sick society, with anxiety, from sobriety, of piety varieties. So that's why it's time to redefine this defining paradigm of what is the real point of space and time when they combine a line.
Just look up at the moon when you're under the swoon, shining from above, Can you feel the love? This prime satellite, divine, radiant and bright, is setting the dials of all smiles on high styles this fine night. Look up at the moon. It's in full bloom. It's an extra super smooth blue mood rejuvenating full bloom with mates tricks to heal a helix fix for all its mates and chicks. It's like a machine to the extreme. The brightest star sheen, keeping lean. The selfish gene for loving dreams behind the scenes, as it can synchronize with real eyes in the skies to realize all the real lies in disguise, like the French do not make fries. And you can score from lines tries, then learn how to zip like flies. When high-fiving the fine cloud-9 highs, with the ecstasy of God's fantasy comes into actuality. For when your parents centered, then you entered for our wholly new pleasure was just invented. When two twains collide, crossing over, then inside, for something new that we do, brewing magic like a stew. It's a gift to us kind, loving in that work with the power to combine. And that's the whole point of all space and the whole of all time.
Can you see how your immortality is really a virtue?
Virtuality.
And the real natural selection is genetic source.
Codes.
Interpolation of X
Nodes.
with loads.
Of triple X loads.
It's lucid neo-love matrix. A cosmic soul collection that
Explodes.
My enlightened heart has risen from the ashes and gathered every ounce of coal, as I am reserved to heal you, the most deserved, who's trapped in a hole. So you see, I'll kickstart your broken down heart, as that's now my life role. If you have the desire, I'll make you a phoenix off a fire, with a flame burning soul. Yeah.
Wow, I see we've come to this mind-blowing place. And we're homegrown, welcome here with grace. So yeah, it's time to embrace, man, this human race. Here on our base, sailing away through space.
From me one other to you one other. Here together arm in arm, my brother. On earth our shared mother. Give her a birth, the air, and we love her. In waves we ride, far and wide, kicking back the turf. Every day, however, wherever, we can forever surf.
When freestyle prime smile shines, or just refining primary lines. It's like the simplicity of love that can flow in synchronicity, as above, so below. Our whole, holy cosmos polarity, that has a singularity heart. And, our soul, is solely, the duality, shining, jewel, part. We are so graced, as placed, as the human race, gets raised. And the soul food is laced, with music you can taste, or just, copy, and paste. Just as the sun, the moon, and every star, a polarity apart, sail the cosmic ocean seas, made of tears that have bled, from every, lonely heart. But it's not to fear, for we shall, when apart, we are very near, as we grow, this united, soul singularity heart. And, if the Milky Way had just one song for each star that our eyes meet, even without eternity, every melody and beat would mostly be a medley of repeat. That makes me wonder, which dimension did Mozart's art start? Who or what played a part? Do they beat with an ear? Or hear with their heart? Okay, so we all now must understand, to attention to this outstanding, helping hand intention that is extending from another high dimension, which is just to attend to this tension mention about human fallibility being a liability, because probability is not a proper ability. Infinity, for eternity, is infinitely complex, with paradigm scales that simply just perplex, even more intriguing than the opposite sex. So who really knows if a black hole will grows, or radiation ejects? Creating black holes sounds seriously misguided. Do we play how it rolls? With fate mysteriously decided? But I'll bet if they blunder, they'll probably wonder. It's their thoughts that are causing the thunder.
This universe is so perfect, as a matter of fact. How we even stand makes coincidences seem to be exact. It's simply a system, perfectly tuned to perfecting perfection. And if we self-destroy, then it's just the cosmic rejection. Read the road signs throughout this wildlife, and steer away the path of strife that can cut deep like a twisted jackknife. These exams for your soul, test it as a whole, with the grading in the afterlife.
But you know, everything happens for a reason, so they say. Then so, take the good, with the bad, come what may. Although, that just goes to show you that, life is a deck of cards. And still play deal, with the hard yards. Like dealing with the bears in your backyards. You, we, face the time to redefine, the defining paradigm of what is the real point of our space and time.
The most conscientious branch of the genetic genesis tree self-devour the fruits of innocence and free. You each leaf draw water, can prevent rotten, or this branch will fall, and all flowers forgotten.
Life free, away from sin. Roll with the punches, smacked on the chin. And use your assets, don't waste a thing. Then body and soul will make your heart.
Yeah,
You're pumping to win.
yeah, so this ride is poetry in motion. Waves that you're now surfing from the cosmic ocean. You can use it as a free motion potion to boost love devotion or reduce your console emotion. This web surfing in a locomotion is our yeah, was a 4 hours to just feel these lovely emotions. Yeah. One moment please. Breathe. Okay. All good. See how moronic when we used to think that the earth was flat. But now it's ironic because we have found that the universe is not quite round. Don't be deceived. Everything is not random as believed. Even this appropriate moment, now being perceived. Last waves do not exist. Bouncing forever, with nothing to resist. And even love echoes for eternity. All around, it's everything you see. Even choice advice from this nice voice. As a vice of choice is a vice to rejoice. Like a pearl to rejoice in an oyster. The love weapon is my weapon of choice, so gangster. But don't fear it, just hear it. Then go deal it, to feel it. Like a think tank, wink brang, love gangsta. Ha.
Love is the greatest gift and asset of all. A pyramid of strength that will never fall. A free soul nutrient and a support wall. Build it up high, forever growing tall. Give a piece to anyone when you hear them call. It's something new that you knew, brewing magic like a stew. Yay, it's beautiful.
And from an eternity of perfecting perfection, forms this matrix of love. And how, you see how, that's how, that cosmic order, fits like a glove. So appreciate all is above, so below, can know, for personal peace. Dove is in a synchronicity flow. You know, the simplicity of love is on show.
Any place within infinity to define, along that long line. Another case, this same as this space, but at another point in time. Is how life questing inadvertently is manifesting eternity. Throughout all of existence are true powers of persistence.
When exploring to find, adoring so blind and brave, seek that mantra, pick that tantra, primal crave. With all your desire, for ecstasy of love, be like a slave. Until your reality fire is mortality ashes and dust in a grave. All you have to do is keep it true. As echoes from love are all around. From as above to below, from every sound, from every voice, observed as water reflects. From every choice, our brains have ripple effects. But some spoken discussion percussions can cause concussion repercussions. Like silly toxic jingles, or all our shouting and cursing. that resonates and mingles, dispersing and immersing, and never reversing. With nothing to resist, they can bounce, persist. And I insist, these can forever exist.
As lost respect can be fatal. It starts early, as prenatal. Cosmetic dollar value has control. Yet no real worth, rest in peace, the soul.
It's a serious critical, analog to stereograph data digitally. Binary stereotypical, showing to the galaxy we're hypocritical. As all inbuilt universe obstacles, must make some epic pinnacle spectacles. With outcome predictables, used as typical analyticals. And, if you know why the sky is blue, then you can paradigm shift. Because explains why the sunset is orange too, and that's a gift to uplift. It's just a frequency scattering, like physicists frequently chattering, when they get my drift. That there is no correlation between background radiation and what's known as redshift. But due to the perfection direction being a natural object of affection, making points of confliction, such as in objection affliction, move forward together, as the arrow of time, direction.
Our coexistence force, deep within us all, is the essence source of every existence core. That's our common universal sense, of course. For peace, love, and coexistence as universal law. So, forget the sins of the past, they're not built to last. Because the less we forget, the more we regret, is the future already set? Whatever path we take, we'll get there the same, give or take. Destiny and fate have forever, no wait, they don't lose track, just deviate.
No matter what, who, or where, whether we're here, or out there, this same existence is what we all share. So look after yourself, yeah? And take care. It's self-consciousness that makes us aware that we are something from nothing. Out of where? Just remember, your existence would not exist. Thanks to the void abyss, everything everywhere, we will not miss. As your persistence to avoid resist, will avoid and miss persist. So to Mother Earth, blow a kiss, and share together this absolute bliss. Evidently, it is certainly a certainty. We all will re-exist. Hey, yeah?
Hey, wow. You see, we've come to this mind-blowing place. And we're homegrown, all welcomed here with grace. So yeah, it's time to embrace man, this human race. Here on our base, sailing away through space.
And what you lack in harm, if you're clever, just make up with your charm. As this is a game we can all play forever, like a war of the sun. Just remember all each and every day maybe the best game we can play is to win this game of courtesy, each all and every other way.
Born from stars we all start, and life's old scars are just shine in our heart. For it is shown, but unknown, that we are not alone. Just look up, to know, that you are never, ever really alone. All decks of cards, are dealt double-sided. Play how it rolls, as fate is guided. The future, instinct, and the distant plan. Take generations of wisdom, and make wizards from man. They don't set sail at half-mast. That crew, is all-star pro cast. Just kickback from the past. Rock solid, yeah. And born to last. And as it's because everything is subjective, from all perceptive perceptions, making anything an elective perspective either to be object of affections, or to be selections as objections, and rejections to connection exceptions. Naturally, that's why all these objectives are simply just the natural selections.
So bring ya AAA game, not the walk of shame. Hey yeah, you know what to do. A flower don't plan or rehearse. Make here, in every hour, of our time-space immerse. As every word and verse is finally reversing the arrow timing. Like sonic booms coercing, God conversing all the rhyming. Then you can unleash the power, of this whole universe so finally. Because there's a paradox, with infinity, and an eternal universe. Like time traveling backwards, to rehearse, in reverse. Any abilities believed as impossible, is not a certain prediction. As all the future path possibilities, create this as a contradiction. Because endless time produces anything, with its maternity. Therefore at some point, anything can happen. Within eternity. With infinity's full potential, all possibilities are exponential. Along the time and space sequential. Time travel back must be an existential, eventual, essential. Where in this polar universe, all the moving forward is in reverse. Our polar universe, we forget what's remembered even before our births. Like blessed by a curse, with only one time-space to immerse. As the electromagnetic feedback can open a time portal crack. And this time-space paradox can forever turn back the clocks. You see, time would not be ended, and the clock would not be often dead. History is not rerun, it's just like songs being resung. So it's just more fun, in parallel, in which that is one. As nothing is needed to replace an infinite amount of empty space. Then it can be assumed, these abilities are probable possibilities. Because perfectionism is serious subjectivism in universalism. With the natural object of affection being the perfection's direction. And because God is benevolent, it's always relevant that its honesty created this as a function, and to be an ever-prevalent or the equivalent. That the pursuit of perfection works in conjunction. Remembering by what was forgotten, Going backward it could be ironic. And living in a reverse polar universe, forward would seem ironic. Forgetting what was remembered is also awkward, but it's also platonic. Traveling back some time, where past and future can align. When technology somehow, at a point that can allow the time-traveling descendant master to meet the eternal transcendent caster. Then, are the yin and yang nang, on mission nirvana zen. Maybe walking amongst men, correcting once more, and again? It's a virtue into the virtual crew far into the distant past. With top deck epithet, an all-star pro cast. Unsetting sail at our half-mast, having a berth, making our worth, and having a blast. Then this, traveling back in time, is just to make more time last. As this is the day, their eternal seals down the void abysm. Tactically a hack, tactic, if you listen, to wise despotism. Like from all those brethren benevolence, who emanate relevant science eminence. In this game of courtesy, and clever prevalence. Eternal material immortals, are quantum leaping real ethereal portals. Opening parallel dimensions, creating better more outcome intentions. Like now, our existence is in need of some assistance. As we face these earth pinnacle points of confliction, the best time and place to be alive must be an addiction. Moving forward together, the arrow of time correct direction. All those strict life evictions, creating conflict extinctions, and choice predictions for those constrictions, earn for yourself distinctions. As your relatives have really serious connectivity, at mysterious restrictions. So see everything's relativity, using your pure love instinctions. And as it's because everything is subjective, from all perceptive perceptions, making anything an elective perspective, either to be object of affections, or to be selections as objections, and rejections if connection exceptions. Naturally that's why all these objectives are simply just natural selections. As everything has connections, and everyone deserves respect. Who can respect and accept corrections that are the elect? Particularly those that are right, polite, and politically correct.
When there is nothing else to just choose, then that's something one simply cannot refuse. As any detailed consensus that the present presents us must clearly define the morality right in black and white clarity. For the majority popularity and their actuality plight. And as is perfecting a perfection always requires further inspection. Where at points of confliction caused from those having an objection, getting caught in court, where some sort of minority reports are fought, but being distraught taught as an afterthought, suffering a contradiction affliction, or have a prediction addiction, and interject the penultimate, final word intrusion, ill illusion, create and inject their ultimate, rival theory delusion, conclusion. Must have no objection to moving forward forever together with a arrow of time direction.
Needless to say, the middle of the infinity riddle is fiddle-riddled. Because an infinite amount of zeros are trying to be heroes. But, if you know how many numbers there are to comprehend, then the beginning is the end of the riddle end. And the corner in this circle is around the middle. Then, do your dimension get it? Or did your dimension already forget it? Even the universe has memory, like every blast from the past. Throughout the globular cluster nexus that is made to last is a neutron star, so dense to its core. A kind of brain cell receptor? So, redefine life once more? Energy is everywhere, not created nor destroyed, so too is God. That then makes infinite time and space enjoyed, nothing really odd. Is consciousness just an oblivious part of God, giving all existence the nod? And we all just precarious, human-bound piece from the same pod. Various, gregarious heads, as a rod, swimming in the old school, nefarious drool, with the occasional prod. This planetarium aquarium is hilarious, in this age of Aquarius. Goldfishing for knowledge, in this wisdom college, upgrading for the mod.
We all know religions are many, and that faith in God can come from any. From ashes to ashes, dust to dust, see now there's more hope. As faith no more flashes, due to the Hubble Space Telescope. With more stars visible, from afars, than all the sand grains on Mars. It's time to pray, now as we play, like air guitar, of Avatar, superstars.
Okay K0. Whatever will to be? Or not to be, that is a question. Now not to be condescending, as this is for comprehending. Show no fear, or cry a tear, like condensation. Just be a pioneer, with a conversation. As now, evolution is adapting, for transformation. And the information is exacting toward creation. And because genetics allow for life distribution, and DNA can change for any adaptation solution. Therefore, it's obvious that God made evolution. And see now it's time for a religion and science revolution. Rejuvenated as one cosmic ideology, theology, institution. So naturally together, moving forward with the arrow of time direction, can co-create the object of affection, to perfect shared perfection.
Maybe the ETs playing the NATO sequence are the best? Are getting blessed from gods, when just impressed. Making us like dressed beds, in placing out the guest beds. On who's the best guest, playing like the best quest. While expending the loving dreams, behind the scenes. And keeping our extreme, selfish gene refinement. That is essential, if our existential is to have the potential to be exponential. Affecting little objects of affections, directing literal supernatural selections. Not for our head messing, in a wave progressing, but keeping us guessing, for a gift and a rare blessing, and for more shock and awe. in awe of an awesome lesson. I'm guessing? And all those fingers on the trigonometrics. Stereotyping with us, fingerless dyslexics. And all our old retro rhetorics. On a roll pulling out whole, rabbit hole hat tricks. Must be like full on, frantic what the heck, hectics. As we now face the inbuilt universal obstacles that make for some real, epic pinnacle spectacles. These outcome predictables must be typical analyticals at the critical clinical levels within polite exopoliticals. As we go analog to digital in crystal clarity across the galaxy as hypocriticals.
It's insanity, how the increasing determination of curiosities by humanity, committing ideology, singularity atrocities. Because perverted science gravitates towards the technology, singularity. How technologies will make no apologies, just a gravity singularity. Because intrinsic idiosyncrasies will cause simplistic synchronicities. Due to our gravity technology, a free-falling, snow-blowing, idiotic ideology. We are at termination velocity, creating a black hole snowball, singularity. So, we must avoid this tragedy of a tragic castle travesty. Intractable calamity, Your Majesty. Not by relinquishing the authority of the minority, or defining the right clarity of the black and white, light polarity. Whether you're an atheist, like some of those Stevens talkings, or running diagnostics on agnostics, like Richard Dawkins, or following the wrong Big Bang pleasure direction as science marches towards the stream M measure theory and its golden arches. Just remember, everything in existence has resistance. To avoid and miss that void abyss persistence. And everything everywhere we will not miss. Then blow a kiss to Mother Earth, sharing this absolute bliss. Evidently it's a phenomenological, certain certainty we all will re-exist. Infinity makes it logical, why now we are at a conscious singularity. And our expedience obedience is required for this experience of reality. Knowing this awards the self, an actuality appreciation that's ongoing towards a higher shelf, duality association. It's really a transcending adventure on this existent line, ascending upward out at every persistent time. Plus these times multiply to increase the going home summer lines. That's why we must comply by duty to be alone sometimes. By reducing this line, it is why we have these essential single times. Due to this growth, we made this matrix cycle oath. This divine right mingle is for any brain now single, forming God's encyclopedia via our so-called social media. And as the next X in the nexus, from a perplexed complex plexus of solar plexus sexes. All you need to know is that it's not a gamble to be nice, when the price to pay, per se, is simply just a grain of rice. As rolling this life is surely the ultimate roll of the die-ice. Hey huh? Hey wake up. It's time to wake up now, and catch your held breath. In between these, life senses, and expenses, known as death. Suck it in, like a man on the chin. Inhale and remember to breathe. And all existence needs is for you to freestyle your smile, shine that extra mile. The prime define your sublime fine, divine style. With the RAAA game, not the walk of shame, walking down the aisle. Ha ha hey yeah. Because when the end is near, we have nothing to fear, as the universe loves us dear. Behold faith, in God's face, together we must embrace. United, we are the human race. Ha ha yeah.
So, what exactly happens when we die? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? And why? Is there really a human soul to enlighten my heart and its hope? My fire for life needs more coal. What is my existence for? And its role? Should I read my moral compass guide? Direct me away from that evil slippery slide? And be scared of death, and inside I hide? No! You can walk strong and shine with pride.
New discoveries in science can shed some light. Confirmed facts that are proven just right. Now give me hope and a future bright. Because logic sense can see God's might. Now, down to the point at hand. We can see more stars than grains of sand. That is the sand on all Earth's land, which is itself a sign of something grand. And abundant throughout our existence elements. Carbon, aminos, water, universal sediments. All building blocks of DNA, expedients for spreading and perpetuating life existence. Interstellar asteroids and meteors as a seed. Inside bacteria and tardigrades, it is agreed that symbiotic pair have all they need. A design sent by genes. You must concede. What is an angel? You might ask. An angel or alien, to do God's task. Maybe even amongst us, with a human mask. Here to help, if you just ask. The hand of God, imitating His love. A respectful observance, look up above. Your appreciation is a personal piece of, as universal order fits like a glove. It's highly possible, if you're clever. Now they're observing our perspective, human, whatever. The abundance of space, never say never. Time is of essence, only God is forever. If there was a way to record everything we do, like a pet's microchip, to identify who's who, without a sole device, they wouldn't have a clue. If human nature and temperament are morally true, and if you loved someone, something deep, would you hold them close, forever to keep? Where whatever they are, do, or sleep, bring great pride and joy, for rewards too. Read what they say, do, see or think. Precious jokes, memories, emotions, avoid the sink. Can't be recorded, easy as a wink. Even their essence of life, saved from the brink. A quantum, subatomic, nanosol device. A salty grand, at any price. When the price to pay is a grain of rice, it's time to shine out on earth and be nice. Logically thinking, the odds are quite high, based on clues given to the naked eye. An indefinite existence, next stage we fly, and the whole purpose of you and I. Now there would be a second here, freely moving around, maybe through your ear. Procedures to follow, rules to adhere. Intervening at times, thank you, Granddad dear. How bright you echoed in your lifetime would reflect like a beacon, come visit mine. We souls, like moths, to the shine. Come watch and learn, next life will be fine. Close relatives that have passed away, their soul device guides you every day. As we are gifted, able to help us help ourselves, as a race. As the soul lives on, not on shelves, but in grace. I guess I speak for everyone, if all this is true. We are a species of love, therefore, we love you. Our jokes are funny, right? And the things we do? Trust us, we'll change, even more, with this clue. It's just a situation of circumstance, most worship money. In time we'll see, the universal currency is funny. Like credits gained, when you joke, like a bunny. Those credits the new currency, called harmony? As we practice, and redefine what's cool. To be stern is weak, and tough like a fool. All we can offer now, as a universal tool, is that original joke, to make even Stephen Hawkins rule.
Yeah.
The same source of our common sense force. Got it by emotion, endless good devotion. From deep within us all, burns a brilliant light. As even Mother Earth herself, shines an inner bright. With this guidance all the way, there never is a night. Then you're reaching for the top, and which way is up? Because I rape, what's left mate, as all, I'll end alright?
There is only one God above. Your God, and God is love. And if in God we trust, from ashes to dust, we have more hope. Because faith no more clashes, due to the Hubble Space Telescope. As we can now see more stars, visible from afar. When all of the sand rains on Mars. So, it's time to pray, as we play, like air guitars. With superstar avatars, from afar's, years. And every time we play, we can anytime pray. in love will just flow. For all to know. And all love is free, absolute, and magnificent. Echoing for an eternity, there is no equivalent. Flowing waves of the cosmic sea, is greater than anything can know. From every sound, created underground, and around, as above so below. Can have a Canva, as there is nothing grander, God made it omnipresent. You know how to bestow more glory from below, as everything is relevant. Having presence, a wonderful multiple present, forever and benevolent. Bounded by wisdom, a necessity for all that is forever prevalent. Connecting in your dreams, God comes to heal you back up your seams. As your life journeys through these extremes. Enduring to be wise, scaling the highs of every great surprise. Even if passing, just interlude cries, be humble in your place. Just behold the prize, what's in your eyes, blessed by grace. Gather your senses, now embrace, catch your held breath. In between the free life expenses, what is known as death.
God knows the true state of all soul health. Keep this in mind, then you can find what acts instead. And see it's wrong, even to pity financial fools well. Ascension derailed indeed, this measure is hailed by greed. Empty soul that I play, these are like the walking dead. So then keep your peace of mind, always on the heavenly level. Pure, gentle, and open, yet free from the devil. Love is a universal field force that is able to bloom and rise from any single source, even from disentangled gloom. Omnipresent, with the micro zoom, for the macro to consume. So we're in long need, a warm heart can harvest from a seed, and should always be freed as agreed, for this life-giving feed is given to all whom bleed, and all plead, so everyone must concede it to be a fate of virtue. Why, how deep inside it can hurt you. Free as a left hand can be, that is almost part of the 1, 2. Drawing forth the cosmic schematic, that's universally enigmatic. Traversing into everything dramatic, to make you feel ecstatic. Strive to understand the perfection direction, grand command. However the size, love shall rise, and surprise even the great Lord's eyes. Just smile, love is free, as God is almighty.
Oh. Wow. A beautiful dream, so clear when I woke. Walking with God, and those words we spoke. Discussing my life grand, walking hand in hand. On the beach, treading life's footprints. On the sand. And looking back, at the tracks we left behind. There were sometimes God's tracks I couldn't find. At times where my life was walking a real hard yard. Was I walking those tracks alone? With no God to guard. So I asked, where did you go? Why did you leave me alone?
Well, as promised, and you should have known, I was carrying on my shoulders the throne. So now, son, welcome back home. As it seems, you have grown from the many things you learned that life has shown. Please tell me then what wisdom was learned, which now you hold.
I know it's because our inadvertent existence came from this life, uncertain persistence. That is why to encourage a life flourish, from the reunion of marriage to then illicit solicit, an individual so explicit. It's a procreation, these sacred vigils, and a must type of visit. For appropriate procreation is an act to enact, you must not miss it. And that electricity turns chaos complexity into pure simplicity. Plus the unreal feel appeal of that rhythm kiss, multiplicity, is divine bliss, and seals the deal, to avoid and miss the void abyss. So thanks to all Mr. and Mrs., all every existence can reminisce. As this quest for conquest strides, high, deep, and steep, for whatever abundance brings, is to fold over the hurtling wings. For wisdom is far greater than knowledge that life itself can teach, not a college. With emotion as the driving force that follows instinct without remorse. Stop, think, why work and race like a horse? As life runs its path, of course. Lost respect can be fatal. It starts early, even as prenatal. Cosmetic dollar values control. Yet no real worth, rest in peace, the human soul. That's why emotional needs are not an excuse to stop being human and spring your abuse. Like silly toxic jingles, when all the shouting and cursing is missing. It resonates and mingles, no doubting it's never reversing. As the ripple wave motion in your membrane ocean diverges vocal water effects. Now hear it sound, it connects. All the words we speak from out our voice echo forever, your spoken choice. And your sense in fact, if still all intact, will reflect back what affects you, enact. Therefore any contact has affected impact. And some spoken discussion percussions can have concussion repercussions. It's just a matter of mind over matter. In difficult times, hearts can shatter. So remember the signs, like love when you met. Your family defines the best lessons you can get. You made your children, so they're number one. As kids deserve the best in life, and all that is fun. Just look into their eyes, to hear their cries. To learn the purpose of life, is to enjoy the highs. It's easy to generate a positive resonance, sending out waves of your beautiful presence. Discard nothings, it's thoughts that haunt remembrance. A gift reflection of you, yeah. Your essence. Certainly, one cannot help those who cannot help themselves. Attitude and ability are keys and a sign of wealth. Protect your assets that maintain your health. To win one war at a time, with the rest on the shelf. To be able to grow from a mess, if you're blessed to progress. And for an all success and happiness. The secret of a woman, to make her show so alive with emotion and in a glow. Rolling like waves is how they flow. Ride 'em when they're high, pick 'em up when they're low. And like a man's stomach, speaks from his heart. Simple quick fixes are his quick start. Can't argue with that logic from the south. Then his ears are all yours, plus a smiling mouth. Then you'll be kicking back and living with Phil. Like chillaxing and a yak, keeping it real. As it's the hardest challenge to overcome, but makes for higher rewards when you have won.
You know that you cannot read a book from its cover. It varies inside from one and another other. Who's what's right wrong is an individual's perspective. As even a derogative prerogative may be someone's objective. Depending on each one's own polarity of perspective. Words alone are not a sign of trust. Actions speak louder, treat words as dust. And the words you speak from out your voice echo forever as your spoken choice. Your sense in fact, if still all intact, will reflect on back what effect you enact. As brain waves roll just like a ripple, vocal pollution can mentally cripple. So it is unfair to judge anybody's fate unless you're them, so just be a mate. As we all have lived a different past, and working is unique, life plan cast. And everything happens for a reason, so they say. Take the good with the bad, yeah, come what may. Anything and everything is what we think from clues. With common most views is the reality link we choose. The perspectives of objectives is also subjective. When the objects of affection are subject election, like being neglected or reject affected, that is to be expected. But the use of respect and tolerance, which then is detected. So we can keep cool, calm, and collected. Where nothing is absolute, except resolution. As the ultimate pollution, absolute solution. Relying on us to salute, and accept revolution. And part of the solution, is need substitution. From the institution, where there is confusion. There is no substitute, for proper execution. Not by relinquishing the authority of the minority, or the majority. Or defining the right clarity. What is the black and white, light polarity? As we put down some dogmas, to avoid a tragedy. That's a tragic castle travesty, your majesty.
Our Majesty, extinction is not our travesty option. So righteous survival instincts need adoption. One suggests some best tests to sense all corruption. Then ideology singularities can get serious disruption.
For when injecting and rejection objections, and subjective perspectives, and subject electives, that are often affected by defective directives, and objective affect you, subjective objectives.
This with all due respect, we must correct the collective, collection connection, for humanity's protection, without insurrection,
or defect reflection.
Then it's possible to perfect the perfection direction using respect, tolerance, and our universal common sense.
And it's worth more than dollars and cents.
So okay. Two people chasing the steep steeple trying to jump the fence. You're getting owned in your sleep, trying to quantum leap, no offense. Like what the fuck pound in a heap, cloned without a peep. Counting each other to sleep. If you can synchronize with realize. In disguise, to then realize all the real lies. And the wool covering your eyes is pure bull in disguise. Rely on the signs, realign with the times. Only time can teach you life crimes. When life's clock is ringing its chimes, do not be led to an ashtray bed. Just use your hand at all flags waved and raised. So red. Because washing on the shore, for sure, is the future one and all. With justice at its core, for all who break universal law. Their souls now must be poor, it's one for all like a type of war. This you can't ignore, and hear it knocking at your front door. Like a trumpet horn, played by babies not yet born.
Oh yeah. Alright. Okay yeah? Alright.
All us children of the thunder, who infinitely eternal wonder, humbled by our love mirror, we're treasured for our humor, as we reminisce this quest. On earth we done what's best, for which are only a guest. What is deemed as our nest, we can reach the end crest, and must pass this test. So when the end is near, you have nothing to fear, as the universe loves us dear. Behold, a cosmic faith in God's face, as together we all must embrace, or we take our final bow of grace. United, we were the human race.
And hey, it's not a gamble to be nice, as the price to pay is just a grain of rice. Rolling this life, which is the ultimate roll of the dice.
So style your smile shine so divine fine, going with the synchro flow. Yeah, you know all of the love is above, so below, that all superstars can show. As all this existence only needs is your high smile shine prime. So freestyle your sublime divine smile line, yeah, dial shine. For universal peace, love, and harmony to align more fun times, sometimes.
Now, some historical wise words. Desiderata, by Max Ehrmann.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others. Even the dull and the ignorant, they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons, they are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially, do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment that is as perennial as the grass, take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have the right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations. In the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy.
Kid, by Rudyard Kipling.
If you can keep your head, when all about you, others are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait but not be tired by waiting, or being led about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet don't look too good, or talk too wise. If you dream but not make dreams your master. If you can think but not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knavies to make a trap for fools. Or watch things you gave your life to, broken, stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, start again at your beginnings, and never breath a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew, to serve your turn long after you're gone. And so hold on when there is nothing left in you, except the law which says to you hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. If neither foes or loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute, with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that is in it, and which is more you'll be a man my son.
Invitus by William Ernest Henley.
Out of the night that covers me, black is the pitfall from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods there may be, for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced or cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloodied, but unbound. Beyond this place of wrath and tears, looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years. Times will find me unafraid, it matters how straight the gate, how charged with punishment's the scroll. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul.
The Man in the Arena. Excerpt from Citizenship in a Republic by Theodore Roosevelt.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotion, spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who have never tasted victory or defeat.
Excerpt from Prometheus Unbound by Percy Bysshe Shelley.
This is the day which sound the boy the bosom. At the earthborn spell yawns for heaven's despotism, and consciousness dragged captive through the deep. Love, from its awful throne of patient power, in the wise heart, from the last giddy hour of dread endurance, from the slippery, steep, and narrow verge of crag-like agony, springs, and folds over the world its healing wings. Gentleness, virtue, wisdom, and endurance. These are the seals of that most firm assurance, which bars the pit over destruction's strength. And if, within firm hand, eternity, mother of many acts and hours, should free the serpent that would clasp her with his length. These are the spells by which to reassume an empire o'er the disentangled doom, to suffer woes which hope thinks infinite, and figured wrongs darker than death or night, to defy power which seems omnipotent, to love and bear, to hope till hope creates from its own wreck the thing it contemplates, neither to change, nor falter, nor abend. This, like thy glory, Titan, is to be good, great and joyous, beautiful and free. This is alone life, joy, empire, and victory.